When Mordecai learned of the terrible decree against his people, he tore his clothes, put on sackcloth and ashes, and cried out with a loud and bitter voice in the midst of the city. Across the provinces, wherever the king's command arrived, the Jews mourned deeply, fasting, weeping, and laying in sackcloth and ashes. Esther's maids and eunuchs told her of Mordecai's distress, and the queen was deeply troubled. She sent garments to Mordecai, hoping to comfort him, but he refused them. So Esther sent Hathach, a trusted eunuch, to find out what was wrong. Mordecai told Hathach everything about Haman's plot, the money promised to destroy the Jews, and he gave him a copy of the decree, urging Esther to plead with the king for her people. Esther replied, explaining the law. Anyone who approached the king without being summoned would be put to death, unless the king extended his golden scepter. And she had not been called to the king for 30 days. Mordecai sent back a powerful message. Do not think you will escape in the king's palace any more than all the other Jews, for if you remain silent now, relief and deliverance will arise for the Jews from another place, but you and your father's house will perish. Yet who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Esther answered with courage, Go, gather all the Jews in Shushan and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. My maids and I will fast as well. Then I will go to the king, even though it is against the law, and if I perish, I perish. On the third day, Esther dressed in her royal robes and stood in the inner court of the palace. The king saw her and was pleased. He extended the golden scepter, and Esther approached, touching its top. The king asked, What do you wish, Queen Esther? What is your request? It shall be given to you, up to half the kingdom. Esther invited the king and Haman to a banquet she had prepared. At the banquet, the king again asked her what she desired. Esther replied that if she had found favor, she would like the king and Haman to come to another banquet the next day, and then she would reveal her request. Haman left the banquet joyful, but when he saw Mordecai at the king's gate, unmoved and unafraid, Haman was filled with anger. He boasted to his friends and wife about his wealth and honor, but confessed that none of it satisfied him while Mordecai lived. His wife Zeresh and his friends advised him to build a gallows 50 cubits high and ask the king to hang Mordecai on it. Haman was pleased and had the gallows built. That night the king could not sleep. He ordered the book of Chronicles to be read and discovered that Mordecai had once saved his life from an assassination plot. The king asked, What honor has Mordecai received for this? His servants replied, Nothing has been done. Just then, Haman entered the court to suggest hanging Mordecai. The king asked Haman, What should be done for the man the king delights to honor? Thinking the honor was for himself, Haman suggested a royal robe, a horse, and a parade through the city square. The king commanded, Take the robe and the horse, and do as you have suggested for Mordecai the Jew who sits at the king's gate. Do not leave out anything you have mentioned. So Haman did as the king commanded, leading Mordecai through the city and proclaiming, Thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor. Afterward, Mordecai returned to the king's gate, but Haman hurried home in grief. His wife and friends warned him that if Mordecai was of Jewish descent, Haman would not prevail against him. While they were still speaking, the king's eunuchs arrived and quickly brought Haman to the banquet Esther had prepared. Credits, adapted from Esther, chapters 4 to 6, New King James Version.